Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, we were able to get our oil set up and rolling, just making a small bit of plastic and rubber to get us by. We were also able to get the packaged fuel unlocked so that we could have a jetpack. But the main purpose was not the jetpack, but to get that rubber and plastic for our future parts. The next thing in Project Assembly, of course. And that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to fill in a bunch of space with a whole bunch of machines. So if that is something that you're looking forward to, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't, and let's jump in to Satisfactory. Okay, so the big thing is making the next step in our Project Assembly to complete Phase 3, and manufacturers are the things that we're going to need to make that happen. Modular engines and adaptive control units, those are the two things that we need to make the next phase happen. Modular engines need quite a bit of stuff. Motors, rubber, smart plating. It's a good thing we got that rubber set up in advance going into some kind of storage unit. We're going to need a lot of it. Adaptive control units, man, these things are much more complicated. Automated wiring shouldn't be too difficult, but circuit boards? Heavy modular frames? Computers? Oh boy, this one, not so easy. Computers require plastic and circuit boards. Heavy modular frames require screws, but we'll see if we can't eliminate that. Circuit boards usually requires plastic and copper sheets, but we do have the alternate recipe, and using that silica to make it seems like a way better idea. Adaptive control units are definitely going to be the harder one to make, so we'll try and set that off to the side for now and focus more on the modular engines and getting all the pieces that we need to get all that done. And it's a good thing that we have the old blueprint maker there, because we're going to need as many blueprints as we possibly can. This is definitely going to be filled up, and all of those materials that we've been belting here, they're going to be put to good use real soon. With that being said, there's a couple things I want to get done. One of those things is cook a few more hard drives. As you can see, I have cooked a few in the background, but haven't selected anything just yet. There's a couple recipes that we're really looking for right now that would help us out in a long way. The heavy modular frame alternate, that would really be helpful right now. But for now, I've got 5 of them, so let's see if we get lucky, and we'll wait our 10 minutes. So what should we do while we wait for the hard drive to finish cooking? Well, I kind of have a couple more ideas. One of those things is to make a few computers. We're definitely going to need computers for a lot of things. So I've got a little setup over here that I've already kind of started making a few computers here and there, and we're using one of the summer sloops to make sure that they produce at double capacity. And we're just sending them off into its own little crate right now. And I don't really have a solid fix for this just yet. But one thing we can do is make some circuit boards to feed into this. The circuit boards, all it needs is local supply of stuff. And I'm going to probably just pull the plastic out of my dimensional pocket for the time being. We'll have to have that one thing feeding into the computers and the circuit boards. I'd love to get the silicon circuit board up and running, but I don't think that's a possibility right now. Our nearest raw quartz is eons away. They've added these nodes here, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember quartz being this close. And then there's some over here, and I think that that's like the red forest area, maybe? I don't want to venture over there. And then I know about this one, which is a little cave system that's over here underneath kind of terrain. It's the one I usually go for, but I think we might try something different here. I may change my mind. I really need to go pick up that truck. So a few containers and a little bit of this and that construction, and we'll probably pop in a few of these computers in a little bit more efficient manner. Because hand loading all this plastic in, man, that's for people who don't like logistics, and I don't know if we could be friends with them. It's a little compact, but we made it. It's just fine. So a 120 belt split 260s. Some goes in to make the circuit boards go into here, and so on and so forth. Then a little bit of plastic comes over here. Now, we don't need that much plastic in either of these. We need 40 a minute on one, and we need, I think, 15? 30 a minute on this one. Well, double what I thought. But we will need, I think, 10 circuit boards. So we do need to up this to at least get our 10 a minute. So we'll go ahead and put that like so, overclock it a little bit. We don't need to throw a summer sloop in there. That would be ridiculous. I mean, it's not like we're using 220 megawatts to make computers. Oh boy. Summer sloops, awesome. Megawatts, not awesome. Not awesome indeed. Now that computers are handled, the next thing I want to do is turn this reanimated SAM into SAM fluctuators. And since we have good old manufacturers to do this with, I think just kind of placing it here and making things happen, delivering things over by hand. We don't need a lot of them, but I want to make some of them. Now, we should be able to get away with a Mark I belt, and we'll bring it around here maybe, and try to shoot it directly into one of these guys. Oh my, that's not gonna work at all. That's definitely not how we want it to go. But we can go there. Perfect. I love it. And then we'll have 2 containers for the other items just sitting over here feeding into it. And just like that, the SAM fluctuators are being created. No need to handcraft something that can be stored in a box. And there's not really too much of a need of more than 60 a minute, so we should be able to stay pretty steady with this. We need to upgrade it. We can. It's not a big deal. Now, our first hard drive was completed while we were making all that stuff, so let's see what we got. Heavy encased frames. Thank goodness. That is a huge weight off of my shoulders. Definitely want that one. The pure quartz crystals, that's a good recipe as well. It's too bad those two are paired together. But we definitely want some more hard drives, so let's scan another one to see if we can't get some of the other things that we need. How much longer, Mr. Hard Drive? How much longer? It's like waiting for water to boil. Please reveal your secrets to me. Give me the recipes that I need. Okay, so another hard drive scan completed, and okay. Yep, don't want either of those. Great. So, what I want to do in the meantime is unlock the power augmenter before we scan another hard drive, because we can't do any research when you're researching a hard drive. Now we have the summer sloop, we have the SAM fluctuator, and we had the computers that we've been making. So I want to get this power augmenter up and running. As far as I understand, it's incredibly powerful.
Power augmenter unlocked. Summer sloops naturally harvest. Yes, harvest energy from distant sources and distribute it locally. The power augmenter supercharges summer sloops by feeding it local power, increasing its harvesting range and efficiency, and thus power output. Basically, the more power it's given, the more it provides.
Do not loop the loop organ. It will shred and tear and unravel the threads, many temples burned.
Good to know. That confirms that hypothesis.
Okay, well, I think there's nothing to fear. I think. It's not terrifying in any sort of way. But we're gonna place it down anyways. Even much caution. And even we need stuff. One moment, please. Much better. Alright, so it has an input. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll just set this sucker as close to me as I possibly can. Player in the way? Can I get it closer? Oh, cool. We can soft clip this thing. I don't know. I say there. It looks good. I love it. Now all we need to do is hook it up to some power, and it'll augment. Oh my gosh. Whoa, sir, calm. Whoa, behold the power of the sloop. Holy cow. That is awesome. Oh, I want to touch it. Give me the power. Give me the... Did it kill me? It just tased me? Oh, that's awesome. Oh gosh, that is amazing. I love it. Now, according to everything I've seen, this thing produces 500 megawatts all by itself, and it boosts itself as far as I understand. So technically this thing produces 550 megawatts all by itself. Now, you're supposed to be able to feed it some things and it'll boost power even more. And there's unlocks to it, I think. I'm not sure. We'd have to go back to the hub for that. But let's just get that free megawatts on the grid. See what kind of augmentation that we get. We were at about 2,400 before, and now we're producing over 3,000 megawatts. It's boosting by 10%, which is 290 megawatts. That's amazing. Amazing. Ugh. Man, we need more summer sloops. Yeah, that's definitely something we need. I'm sorry, but I want to touch it again. Oh gosh, my poor Pioneer. Well, now that we're producing all that extra power, we need to put it somewhere. And I was thinking, I just want to put a few battery backups. For peace of mind, of course. So I want to put in like a whole bunch of them across here. I think that would be a really good idea, as we're producing enough power to do so. At the same time as I'm just nervous that once we hook up all these machines and they all start running, that we may very well kill our grid. I think that many should be good. And another wonderful thing about batteries is they do daisy chain, so we can just hook them up like so and connect them to the grid and store up some of that beautiful summer sloop power that we're making. Except for when we do things wrong. You know what? I'll fix it later. There. It's not beautiful, but yeah, we're charging up. It shouldn't take too long to charge all these things. I mean, an hour? An hour in-game? That's like building one set of refineries. Yeah, won't take long. But now that we've got alien technology and computers being manufactured, and I'll probably do some other little manufacturing, I think it's just time to let the hard drives cook and then select the recipes that we want to select. I'm sure we'll get some really good ones, and we'll probably get ourselves some extra ones to future-proof ourselves for our next big factory, whatever that might be. All right, it's selection time, and let's see what we have. Well, we already know that we're getting the heavy encased frames because we're taking screws out of the picture. Cheap silica also seems like something we should probably get. We've got lots of limestone and I want it. I also think solid steel ingots will be a good choice. We're going to be needing a lot of steel because we need encased beams and other things. Now, I've already rescanned this one, and pure iron ingots, it's a definitely good recipe to have, so we'll select this one. As well as I have another one that I have to choose one or the other, and basic iron ingots with lime and iron? I probably will never use the foundry for this, but just in case we need to. Now, I do have 3 hard drives left to scan, but some of these others, I don't know, maybe I'll pick them up in the background. Wet concrete is always a good one. It's good to just have in case you need to get rid of some water and then sink that water. That comes in the aluminum side of things. Steamed copper sheets, this one is really good. It comes in handy a lot of the time. It produces quite a bit. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so it's pretty handy to have, but we'll keep it here for now. A manufacturer for motors, probably never going to happen. Alloy? I could think of better ways to get iron ingots. Flexible frames, screws, and rubber? No thank you. Inventory slots would be pretty handy though. Bolted frames, getting away from screws, and the alternate polymer resin. This one's pretty good. I mean, if you need the polymer resin, it's a decent recipe, but we have other ways to get plastic and rubber out the wazoo. So I'm probably going to let the rest of these hard drives just go ahead and cook and start in on our main production. The whole reason for this episode, which is going to be pretty ridiculous if you ask me. We're going to have lots of stuff coming in all through here, and we're going to put foundries and smelters in this area And then that's all going to channel down into all of our factory production stuff. Now, in my typical fashion of playing logistic games like this, I like to kind of lay out an example of exactly what I need to get said parts. The adaptive control units, well, they're the things that need the most parts. Automated wiring, circuit boards, heavy modular frames, and computers. 2 of these things require manufacturers. The rest, not so much. So we'll have our manufacturer making the heavy modular frames with our new recipe. Much simpler. Concrete, steel, encased beams, and modular frames. We'll also use our alternate recipe for the circuit boards now, which means we have to go find that quartz crystal pretty soon. Automated wiring? Well, we've already done that once, so stators and cable? Pretty easy. Just have one thing making the stators here, and the other one making the cable. Most of this is just going to be copper stuff, so the smelters and how many of those we need, well, that's just going to be in the background. I don't exactly know how much. I'll probably do some calculations and let you know. Now, as far as the modular engines go, man, motors, rubber, smart plating? Again, smart plating we've already done, but motors and rubber? Well, rubber is going to come from where we're making our stuff now. Stators, rotors again? Well, we have stators from over there. We'll just add to however many we make. Reinforced iron plating, more rotors? Looks like we're going to need a lot of rotors. And we've got the same thing going on here. Reinforced iron plating, some more rotors, and lastly the stators again. And all of the stuff that's going to get manufactured behind it. The foundries, the smelters, those are all things that we're just going to make a lot of it and hope for the best. So my idea is this. We're going to do a bus line. A bus line that comes down the middle-ish here. And then we'll have some things being manufactured over here and then some things going over that way. We will need some plates and some rods, but we'll just steal that from our production that's already here. It seems simpler to do it that way. We can throw it down underneath and split it off somewhere and pop it up on the main line over here. I don't know if or how many of the plates and rods we'll need, but if we do, they'll be there on the line as well. Now, getting the plastic and rubber for this, man, a big belt highway that goes all the way from over there to here, it just seems like a not fun and good time. But I have a better idea. That's right, Mr. Beep. Oh yeah, we could just truck all this stuff over there and not really build a belt highway, but a actual highway. I think we could find a decent enough path to get all the way over here, but shouldn't be too bad. We can come around, honestly, where we've got our power lines. And trucks are pretty resilient, and they are much improved from back in my day when they would just glitch out like crazy. Now, I believe we'll have to take care of some local growth, but once we do, getting in a path from here to there with the trucks, they go beep. Who wouldn't? Silly tree getting in my way. I mean, subtract the vegetation, and this is a nice little beach path that we've got going on here. And I'm sure I'll drive better than I currently am. Making a truck path all the way over here? I mean, I've already got a bridge and... Oh, sorry, my friend. Actually, sorry, not sorry. We've already got our bridge here from our previous endeavors over here. So, I think there's a good chance that we should be able to make this work. And just have a truck stations right here. Having the fuel come off, having the plastic and rubber come around and load in. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too hard of a problem. Making the trucks shouldn't be that bad. I actually think this could work out. So really it's just extending this platform so that we can make the truck platform here. I don't know how far we'll need to go out, but I've always known it's the rule of 3. Give yourself at least 3 tiles to turn on. Because these things, they don't really turn on a dime. Now, unfortunately, I built this at 2 different times at 2 different heights. So... yeah, that'll be a small problem to kind of fix, which isn't too big of a problem, because I can just put a ramp on it, call it good. The really bad thing is this is there, and that's the... yeah, trucks may have a little bit of an issue with that. But that's a future Addo problem to figure out. Current Addo, he just wants to put down a few truck stops. And I think there's going to be one about here, and then we'll also put one over here.
Fix-It reminds you to drive vehicles accurately through a truck station's dock area while recording a path. This ensures it will connect properly once everything is automated. The truck station can be set to load or unload, and can also refuel vehicles. Unlike some pioneers, truck stations care about saving humanity.
Really? Okay. I think I care about saving humanity as well. So Ada's right. There is a load and unload button here, and it'll tell you about how many you transfer at a time. Now the one thing is fuel, so we should be able to use our fuel, that's our package fuel for this. That's going to come in real handy because it's right over there. So we need to belt some over here and then probably put in a little bit of an area to make sure that we're not bumping into it. I know that they have kind of this weird thing where if you get too close to one, it'll load in whatever that material is. Now, as I said, we wanted about 3 spaces. I think maybe putting a half wall there to indicate, hey, this is the path for this one. And then we'll bring it about there. Yeah, that seems good to me. And we'll give ourselves plenty of space to get into this other one. Cut in, dip out. Yeah, nice and easy. Something to this effect. Maybe we'll put in some more barriers, but that's again a future Addo problem. Now we should be able to load up enough fuel quickly enough that it won't be too big of an issue. I'll probably just run the fuel up over this pipe here and bring it down and just kind of dip it into each thing again. The other thing is plastic and rubber. How are we going to get that over here? Probably along this back end for the plastic. The rubber, on the other hand, we kind of buried that in here. I think we should be able to go in and send it the same way. I don't know. I'll have to figure out the logistics on that one. Shouldn't be too difficult. But this is only 1/3 of the scenario. The other one is making sure we have truck stops back at base. So back here at base, I think we'll have them all park in right here. So we can just build this out to where it's level with the terrain. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. Just because there's pretty level terrain right here. I should be able to just build like so. And then truck stop will just bop right into it. Easy peasy. But now with this platform kind of built, thinking about how we're going to do the truck stations, we'll have to separate them just a little bit, just to make sure that they have some space. We don't have to add fuel to this one, so we should be good. I'm thinking this truck station could be somewhere about here, give or take a few tiles, and we'll have to probably adjust some things. And the other one, I think we just have it come here. And the idea being this, the truck will come down, and depending on if it's rubber or plastic, go to one here or go to the other, and then turn around and go back out. Right down here in the middle. Plenty separation. Not going to be fun to belt. We might turn this one and leave it here. I don't know. Those are all future Addo problems. Again. But then, something that I've been kind of talking about before. I said I would concrete this whole biome. And we're pretty much to that point. I think this whole starting location is going to look real good with a whole mess of concrete. Well, I know it seems to be a little sneaky as we're doing this at night, but the EPA, they don't come out at night. So, it's like the 4th of July, and it's fantastic. So now with the truck path cleared, there's only one last hurdle to really kind of figure out. Now, trucks don't like steep inclines, so we're gonna try and keep this as non-inclined as possible. I would like to try to build this on the world grid, and we can build a ramp up to this if we have to. I may play around with this design a little bit to try to get this a little bit straighter and out here, but this doesn't look too bad. I actually would like it to come right here, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think the world grid is going to work for what we've got going on. So, change of plans. We'll just build up and over. That seems like a way better plan. Yeah, so something like this. A nice, even 2-meter space for trucks to go down and up again. I really do wish I had some more space on the side there, but I guess we'll just have to deal with what we've got. Okay, so ramp, check. Truck stations, check. Now I guess it's time for everybody's favorite part, pathing the trucks. Oh boy. Hopefully I won't screw this up. Okay, so here we go. Start recording. Pause here for a few seconds. That way that the thing knows that I want to be here. We can delete that initial pause, so that's not too big of a deal. And then nice and slow. It's time to go nice and slow. Get a full turn here, and away we go. Oh, this is the most nerve-wracking part about vehicles. Making sure that you don't hit anything, you don't bump anything, you don't flip the truck. Ugh, boy. And I gotta do this not just once, but twice. The good thing is that you can go as fast and as slow as you want. So in these more open areas, I can kind of hoof it and make sure that I'm getting it done quickly. In the tighter areas, I tend to just go slower and worship the corpses of my past friends. No, anyways, I just try my best to not flip. Flipping is bad. And I think that we're going to use this natural ramp that's here to get across and where we want to go. We'll just slow it down here a bit. That way we can squeeze through here, and the truck knows I want to squeeze through it. Cool. Now, on the beach here, shouldn't be too bad. I didn't destroy any of the trees, and probably will come back and do that later. But again, you can just go slow and poop out all those little play buttons. I don't know. It looks like old school play buttons to me. Now, once we get back here, we'll slow it down a bit so that the truck slows down itself. We'll dock at this station, which will probably be plastic. I think this first one will be plastic. Gotta sit here for the pause and wait for everything to happen. And then once you're ready again, you just make that trip all the way back. Hopefully not running into anything or whatever. And now we're back home. And we just go to the finish line. Path recorded. Whew, okay. And we'll probably save this one. We may need to do this another time somewhere else. I don't know. So we'll leave that truck here for now, and then we'll go ahead and get the other one set up. We'll probably even do its path as well. That'll probably be for the rubber, but I'll do that in a little bit. You know, I thought about it for a second, and I decided I'd just go ahead and finish this off. So we have our nice little truck stop here, and we'll probably have to still get the rubber coming in and get it in this way. He'll come down the middle and boom, go into his truck station. But the plastic is already coming, and we're getting a decent transfer rate. I mean, 47 items a minute is not awful, but once this thing fills up and we start making our computers and other things, eventually everything will just stack back up. We don't really care how much of it we make, just as long as we're making it. Now, I've got it kind of belted over here for now, but that may change in the future. There's only really one other truck station thing that we need to get done, and that's going to be Quartz. And I think I'm going to have that come in right here, because I can sneak that into this wall, and I can have it go down into here and underneath everything and all the way across and build the quartz area somewhere in that direction. Maybe come out where the limestone is and pop out the same underneath all this. There's already a path for that limestone, so it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to get this thing to go up and under all of this. I'm pretty sure I got plenty of space under here. So the first thing would be is to make the truck station. Somewhere, I'm thinking right here. It's got to be kind of big. I don't know. We'll kind of play around with it once we get the truck kind of moving and grooving. Maybe we'll be able to trim this up just a little bit, but we'll give ourselves plenty of space for now. We should be able to kind of park this thing right about here, maybe. Now, as far as our fuel for this, I think we should be able to snake a little bit of fuel off of this over here. I don't know exactly how I would do this. I think a small little belt that high back around here. Maybe curve it like so. And then kind of shoot it into that area right there. We'll need the walls though. Do I even have those unlocked? I do. So we'll probably have the conveyor walls go through like so. I have to move some of this wiring and some other things, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. And then we'll have a couple belts coming across into this and then into that. And that'll be our fuel source. And we can just box all this in with walls. Not a big deal. All right, so then the last thing will be is we got to get this out of here into there and then pretty much underneath all this. Oh yeah, we got plenty of space to do it. No worries at all. I think if we just go down here where this limestone is, might have to go under it at some point, snake it across where our splitter merger is, and come out somewhere over here. I don't know. Probably about right there. Yeah, that seems good. Shouldn't be too difficult at all. Famous last words, but yeah. Now, where are we going to get said quartz? Well, probably right over here. This seems like the best place to get it. It's close enough to base that we should be able to truck it pretty easily. I've not ventured into this one because I'm not sure what's over there. This is a normal purity, but I'm pretty sure there's a pure one around here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. Maybe we can see it from the... Oh, there it is. Never mind. Right here. I was just about to say, we could probably see it from up here, but no, it's up here. So a pure node will give us a whole lot. We could probably get a full 480 belt out of this one. And I don't see us needing much more than that. So now it's just building another truck station. So if I belt it across here, kind of have it hanging in the air, I believe I should be able to build it right on the side of this cliff. On the ground, of course. But a nice little platform right here. Yeah. That should do the trick just fine. And boom, just like that. A truck station in the middle of nowhere. With a 480 belt bringing everything to it. Didn't take much to really get this going, and I didn't have to destroy too much nature. Tried to make it look like it belonged here, but we did end up using the 4-meter ramps, which made it a little bit difficult to get up, and that turn is a little tight. The truck does seem to bump into the wall here from time to time, but only when I'm here. The good thing about these trucks are they'll just teleport from node to node better when you're not there. Now the truck has been working pretty hard, so I'm excited to see exactly what kind of income transfer that we can expect from this. It's saying 14 stacks per minute, but that's just because this thing is full and the line isn't going anywhere. But we did get it all the way over here, and I got it going into these constructors already, making all the silica we could ever want. But now with all the plastic, silica, and rubber where we want it, I think it's time to fill in this space with a whole bunch of foundries, smelters, and any other machines that we may need for the space elevator parts. So we'll probably bring this in 2 different phases. Phase 1 being the smelting and foundry phase, getting all that stuff into a couple of belts going down the main bus, like we said we were going to do. The second phase will be all of the constructors and everything else. So, you see all these materials? Well, they're about to be turned into something. Something amazing. And just like that, all of the iron and copper we need. And we were able to run most of the things underneath the flooring. That way we don't have to look at it or trip on it. Over here, we weren't so lucky because those just come up straight through here. But that's okay. We can deal with a few lines being visible. Get that movement so you can feel like you're in a real factory. For the steel here, we use the alternate recipe, the solid steel ingots, where it's just iron ingots and coal into steel ingots, making 60 per minute. This is going to be pretty handy, and it keeps our foundry footprint a little bit smaller. Now the big thing will be is making sure that we get all the materials that we need to the appropriate places. I believe that all I need is these iron ingots going down to make other things. And these here, these will be used to make all of the steel here. These are producing 30 a minute, so I believe we have 14, including the ones over there. As far as copper ingots go, we're doing the same thing, 30 a minute times 10, so 300. All this should be able to fit on a couple of lines. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Last thing really to do is just power things up. Make sure that they're working, and move forward. I've got to get the coal over here to the foundries, but that's not going to be too big of a problem. I'm pretty sure we still need to make some constructors, so those will probably kind of land right in this area. And we'll have constructors on the right and on the left. I hope I don't have to move this thing, but if I need to, I will. If I can leave it there, I'd love to have it right next to the base. Just looks cool sitting there. So as I was saying before, this is a 2 pop-in phase. Phase 1, complete. All the smelting and ingots and all that stuff. Done. The next phase will be blueprinting constructors, because we're going to need a whole lot of constructors right here-ish. And those are going to be making all of our pipes. We need lots of pipes. We'll need pipes for the encased beams. We'll need pipes for rotors. We'll need pipes for a lot of other things. And unfortunately, I didn't really leave myself enough space. I'd love to leave the summer sloop thing here, but we may have to do some finagling. And I'd like to leave myself some walkability space. I'm not sure. Maybe we can get this stuff underground and have it come out right through here? We do have some space. It could happen. I don't know. This is going to take some thinking on my part on how we're going to do it. But hold tight while we figure out the rest of this. Oh man. Popping in. It's not easy, but we did it. Oh my goodness, there are so many belts going every which direction. There's splitters everywhere. There is so much stuff going on in this thing. It is unbelievable. And we had to add some foundries because my math was off. We needed more foundries. I needed more steel. And man, we got so lucky it came right to the edge here. But look, this right here is dedicated to only making steel pipes. Yes, all of these constructors do nothing but make steel pipes. All right, so let's go over this because it is quite a good time. Everything just kind of comes down like a main bus here, and if the machines needed it to make whatever said part was, I just split them off and put them on there. So in this case, we needed to make reinforced iron plates. So I have our iron plates coming from the main bus over here, and just going straight down into it. Now this does make for some interesting belting, but it's all temporary. I'm trying to be cool with it. The same thing goes here with our alternate encased pipes. So we're bringing the pipes off of where our big pipe line is, and we're just bringing them off in 60 lines. That way it gets what it needs when it needs it. Our alternate steel frames here takes those reinforced iron plates that we're making behind it, add in the steel pipes that are coming along here that are going into this manufacturer and making said items. The heavy modular frames here, it's taking all of the items that we've talked about making here and turning them into those heavy encased frames. Those heavy frames, well, they scoot across here and go directly into this manufacturer, making the adaptive control units. Now the same thing happens with all the other parts. We have computers and circuit boards and wire being made and rubber and plastic coming from over here. The silicon comes across and is gonna go into here to make the circuit boards, and yeah, we're gonna try to save up a few of those circuit boards. Probably do the same thing with the computers. That way I don't have to keep manufacturing them over there. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this was a lot of fun to build. As far as the first major project that we've actually done, this is a lot of fun. This is my favorite part of this game, I swear. Now we just really have one last thing to do, and that's hook up power and see if everything works. Yeah. Oh, I also have some copper sheets being made over here. Now here's the one real true test. It's time to start hooking everything up with power. See where we have problems. I don't know where or what will have problems, but I'm sure we'll find it. Oh, we got red lights over here. Did I not hook a power pole on this side? Could have swore I got all the power hooked up. Well, here's one place we can hook power up to get power there. Crossed into that. These manufacturers don't have power. Okay. Easy fix. Okay, so everybody should be powered. I don't see any more red lights. My one big concern is the plastic. Plastic and rubber, making sure that we're getting enough of that across and where it's supposed to go. I think we have a belt over here that we need to connect as well to get all of these circuit boards being manufactured. We still have a red light here. Why are you red light? You should have power. Or you should have a recipe. Oh gosh. What is this supposed to be? Oh no. Wire into cable? Yes, cable. It's a good thing we're checking. Like I said, I know I probably made a few mistakes, but eventually we'll have everything running. Okay, so it seems as though everything is working exactly as intended. There were a few summer sloops that we had to throw into some places. Probably could have just power sharded it, but I figured why not? I've got a few extra. We can just throw a few in some places. There are some things that are power sharded to get that production up a little bit higher. This one in particular, it's power sharded and summer slooped. Yeah, it's drawing quite a bit of power. But for the most part, everything seems to be producing. We have 15 adaptive control units already produced and 14 of the modular engines. So we're doing all right. It's just gonna take a while to get all these stocked up. And more than likely, we'll probably need more of them. So dismantling this right away, probably not a good idea. Really, the last thing that we need to make, because we tore it all down, is the versatile frameworks. But we have plenty of the things that we need over here in this area. We have lots of modular frames and all the beams we could ever want. So we'll probably just slap this thing together right over here somewhere. And boom, all the versatile frameworks that we could ever want. Probably just let this thing roll in the background as well. As it only needs 2.5 of the modular frames and 30 steel a minute, well, we're producing more than that on these two machines. This one has a summer sloop in it because we needed those to build a lot of the machines, so I just kind of helped ourselves along. But this container should hold 2,500 of them, easy. And we'll just let it rock and roll. But now that we have that rolling, and we just needed to waste a little bit of time, I think it's time to go on a little bit of an exploration. Try to go see how many summer sloops, Mercer spheres, and power slugs that we can find on the map. I've gathered up quite a few because I've just been kind of roaming around when I go out. There was quite a bit of stuff on the top of this thing, and it helped out a lot, but there's still quite a bit of the map that I haven't even explored. The swamp? Man, going there? Ugh. I need to. There's quite a bit of hard drives in this particular area. But I think that this is kind of the next thing that we need to do. Explore here, grab a bunch of things, play around with some of the local wildlife. But as for now, I think that's just going to be it for today. This did take a long time to set up, and I'm running really late on my time. But if you did enjoy and you want to support, there are 2 links in the description. One is for Patreon, where your support on Patreon gets a name in the credits. The other is for Discord, where we have a small but mighty community. Any support on either of those platforms is greatly appreciated. Or you can leave a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite alternate recipe is. But as always, the best way to support is to like and subscribe, as it does help the channel out. Hit the notification bell so you can be alerted of any time any Satisfactory or any other content gets uploaded to the page. Hit one of the buttons on the screen right now to see what else we've played, and don't forget to keep gaming for the love of games. Bye now.